Everyone. My name is Dr. Nicholas Corsepius. I'm going to be your Chemistry 128B instructor, Organic Chemistry 2. Before I introduce myself, I actually first wanted to introduce you guys to the course Canvas page and go over a little bit of information from our syllabus that you can find on the Canvas page. We're going to be interacting with this Canvas page a bunch during this semester, so I want you guys to be familiar with it, kind of show you around all that good stuff. If you logged onto your computer, this is going to be the home screen that you see for our course page. Otherwise, if you're on a mobile device, you'll actually only see kind of this little menu bar type thing, but you can still get to where I'm going to go. This essentially takes you to a shortcut of where on the modules page that you would be going, to this particular, in this case, the course introduction module or the first semester material module, et cetera, et cetera. So if you're on a mobile device, you can get there by clicking modules, and that'll take you to the same place, okay? So the first thing we're going to do this weekend, our goal is to get through this course introduction module. You could start by clicking here. This basically is just to give you instructions to help you navigate through the course. Again, we're going to be going over the syllabus here. You can download it off of Canvas. I actually have put the important parts of the syllabus into our course introduction module. So if you want to go down here to syllabus, you can download the syllabus and read through it yourself. I'm going to go through the highlights that again are kind of like built into this Canvas here. So start by clicking here. This is basically telling you that the best way to navigate through this course is by clicking this next button. That makes sure that you've seen all of those pages. Okay. When we get back to in-person, you're going to have to do a daily COVID screening, which is basically you're going to go to this website and certify that you don't have any COVID symptoms, and I'll be looking to see that you have done that when you come into class. So you're just going to show me your mobile device, show me that you have that green check mark. And if you do become COVID positive, you're going to want to use this online report form so that you can report it to Fresno State. They'll do some contact tracing. Okay, so if you're watching this video, you made your way to this page here. This is the video will be inserted at the bottom here, but this is just briefly introducing you to the course. Remember, this is the second in a series, so we're going to be piggybacking off of a lot of that first semester organic chemistry material that we learned. Remember that this is going to be a 3-unit course, which means that we estimate that you're going to have to spend an average of 6 hours outside of class each week studying. And I've created a bunch of activities and assignments and stuff to help you practice this material. But of course, that's going to be a marathon, not a sprint, right? That's all your college courses are really marathons in the sense that you want to pace yourself. You want to keep a good pace. You don't want to check out for a week and fall behind. Make sure that you're staying on top of the material. The other thing I would love for you to do is to pause this video right now and follow these instructions to turn on submission comment notifications. That way if you submit anything to me and I'm like, hey, you're missing page 2 or something like that, you actually get that notification. Otherwise, you'd have to go back into the assignment to receive that notification. Okay, so our course meeting. Starting next week, we'll be meeting synchronously over Zoom. We'll be meeting during our normal class time, and you can follow the Zoom link here. That's how I will be delivering my lectures. Starting in February, we'll be back to meeting in person, so that'll be nice. We will be meeting in the Science 2 building in room 108. Okay, we want to make sure that we have the David Klein textbook as well as some sort of an internet-capable device. We'll be taking Canvas quizzes in class, so this will be important. Model kits are always very helpful in organic chemistry because, it's a good reminder that we're talking about 3D molecules, not just the 2D that we write on our pencil and paper. So I recommend you grab one of those if you don't have it. Okay, so what type of assignments can you expect in this course? Each week we will have like lecture assignments basically. Let me actually go and show you what I mean. So let's go to one of these. Go to first semester material here. So at the top, there will always be sort of like a page that has slides and stuff. Since this is first semester review, I actually put all of the first semester slides and the first semester lecture videos there. If we want to see, when we get to like chapter 16, it'll be in these introduction sort of pages here where you can download lecture slides. but the way that the course is set up is that there's going to be a lecture, and then there's going to be some assignments built into Canvas that will test your knowledge on those lectures. And these are assignments these lecture assignments are, you have an infinite number of attempts at. They're the easiest points that you can get in the course. So you see each thing, we have a lecture, then a quiz, then a lecture, then a quiz. Because I've taught this course a bunch before, I have videos for each of my lectures. So that's what's on these pages here. Again, we're going to be doing these lectures synchronously over Zoom and then finally in person. But if you don't retain the material or you need to hear it a second time, there are videos posted that will help you. So then each week we'll have these lecture assignments to do as well. Again, you can do them an infinite number of times. They're really there to reinforce the material as well as tell you the types of problems I expect you to be able to do. I always say that this course is going to be tough enough without me trying to be tricky. So I'll tell you exactly what type of problems I expect you to know, and that's what you'll find here, right? So this is our first sort of practice. Okay, let's go back to our assignments and see. Each week, so starting week 3, we'll be taking weekly quizzes, which will quiz you on the previous week's material. Okay, so if these lecture assignments are the easy points because you can have infinite amount of attempts, these weekly quizzes are where you're going to have to demonstrate to me that you retained that information, that knowledge. The whole idea of these assignments is to make sure you're keeping pace, right? Again, some college students are tempted to have this terrible strategy of putting it off for weeks and then cramming in a 10-hour session before an exam. It doesn't work. And my goal with these quizzes is to keep you on pace. So I'm going to make sure that you understand that previous week's material with these quizzes. Okay. This is sort of like before we get to the exams, which are worth a bunch of points, right? So if you don't do well on a weekly quiz, that's your signal that you need to study up on that material before the exam, because that's when it's going to be worth a ton of points. At the end of each chapter, we'll also have an online Wiley Plus homework system. I've used Wiley Plus a bunch, and it's got a lot of cool bells and whistles that students absolutely hate. And so I've learned to stay away from certain problem types and gravitate towards other problem types. But these will just supplement all your lecture assignments and weekly quizzes, making sure that, reinforcing this content, making sure that it's actually retained. And then at the end, we'll have a final exam, which is going to be from all the different chapters that we talked about in the previous, during the semester. Okay, grading policy. So pretty standard, 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, 70 to 79 is a C, etc., etc. Please note that I will be rounding to the ones place, meaning that an 89.5 rounds up to a 90. An 89.4 does not round up. That will round down to an 89. I think one common misconception that students have is that at the end of the semester, I'm going to step back and see, I think that this person deserves this grade. It doesn't work like that. This is a numbers game. It's going to be this many points were offered in the course. You successfully got this many. That's how I calculate your grade. At the end of the day, the points are going to dictate your grade. I'm not going to change anybody's grade based on, my personal feelings don't enter into it at all. So if you get that 89.4, I'm really sorry, but you didn't make the cut. Final grade breakdown will work out to be about 31% exams, 10.5 final exam, 12.5 lecture assignments, 25% is those weekly quizzes, and then 10% the Wiley Plus homework. The reason why these are really odd percentages is because I like in my course for points to be points. So a point on an exam is the same as a point on a homework assignment, is the same as a point on a Wiley Plus assignment. The difference is an exam's 100 points, and those weekly quizzes are 20 points, and the homework's 10, that sort of thing, right? So that's where the different weights come from. It's approximate. They may fluctuate. If I add an assignment or take an assignment away, it will change these a little bit. But these percentages aren't locked in order to make it so, again, a point is a point in my course. Makeup works. So first of all, missed exams, I'm going to handle on a case-by-case basis. For the most part, I don't allow makeup exams. I would just take your all your other exam grades and I average them and I replace that with your exam grade. Since we're in this really bizarre COVID period, in the middle of this spike, I'm going to take it on a case-by-case basis. What I will say is that there's definitely never going to be a circumstance where you're going to be allowed to take an exam online. If anything, you'll be making it up at the testing center. But again, my go-to policy is actually to replace your grade, your exam grade, by a weighted average of all your other exams. Late work. So any in-person assignment that we have, if it can be made up, is going to be made up at the testing center. Again, there's no way that you're going to be able to take one of those exams online or a weekly quiz online or anything like that. In-class assignments are in-class assignments. The online assignments, though, they can be turned in late. So, for example, those lecture assignments, but there's automatically going to be a 10% penalty per day. That is built into Canvas, and I'm not going to change it. I often get emails at like 11:55 that before an assignment's due that's like, oh, my internet just went out and I can't submit it. Can I get an extension? No, you're going to have to take the 10% hit, all right? That's one of the risks that you run when you put off an assignment till the last minute. But you definitely do, even if you don't get around to an assignment, submit it a day late. 90% of the points is still the vast majority of the points. It's way better in my grade book than a 0. So this is actually also, you can find it on the syllabus, but it's just a good summary of all the university policies around dropping classes, cheating, computers, Title IX stuff, all that sort of stuff. So those links are summarized here. Plagiarism detection, we would be using Turnitin, although we're not going to be writing any reports for this class, so that's not really a big deal for y'all. Okay, and then the syllabus, again, this is where you can download it here. At the end of this video, I want you to go ahead and take this syllabus quiz, which is going to make sure that you understand what the course policies are. Here are my office hours. When we are virtual, I'm going to have virtual office hours. Those will be on Monday evenings. When we return to campus, I will have an in-person office hour on Fridays from 10 to 11. So right after this class to 11 a.m. My office is in Science 2, room 275, and then here's the Zoom link for the virtual office hours. Schedule. So this is a rough schedule. You can actually find it in the syllabus as well. I don't want you guys to like print this out and like get married to this schedule here because I'm not allowed to touch the syllabus after it's submitted. I will be updating this schedule here on Canvas. So this is where you want to look. If an exam date changes or something like that, I mean, of course I'm going to announce it in class, but this is where you'll see that here, okay? You'll see there's some blanks, and these are just going to be like review, catch-up sort of things. I imagine Chapter 13 will bleed over into this week. Chapter 22 is a little bit of a long one, so that'll bleed over. So it's not like we're not doing anything, but it's going to be kind of review and summarizing and getting to anything else that I haven't gotten to yet. You can see that next week we're going to actually focus on first semester review. I didn't teach you all for the first semester of this course, so I want everybody to sort of understand what my expectations are in terms of what you understand from the first semester. So we're going to spend a whole week reviewing various things from the first semester. Nomenclature is really important. Being able to draw structures correctly is extremely important. Those electron pushing arrows are extremely important. Reaction mechanisms are going to be a big part of this class. So making sure that you can draw your electron pushing arrows is going to be important. So that's something that I'm going to emphasize all in this first semester review. Okay, and then lastly, what you're going to do is submit this sort of personal introduction where you take a short video of yourself and post it into this discussion. You can watch my personal introduction. This is where I'm going to introduce myself a little bit more formally. You know, again, the purpose of this video is really to introduce you to the course. Okay, so again, homepage, course introduction. The only thing that's not open is our Wiley Plus instructions. This is going to be an assignment for next week where I have you guys sign up for Wiley Plus. So we'll deal with that next week, okay? I look forward to meeting all of you, and next week we're going to get started on our first semester review. So get ready to do some chemistry. Organic chemistry is a really interesting class. It's really rewarding. It is tough. There's a lot of drawing, a lot of hexagons, and all that good stuff, all right? So everybody come to class prepared. One other thing that I do want to say that's in our course meeting business is when we do have our Zoom meetings, everybody's going to be there with their cameras turned on, ready to do some chemistry, all right? I've had students like attend class while they're driving, or, you know, they're sitting at work with their computer on, you know, supposedly in class. Your focus should be on this class. There's no multitasking going on. We're going to be doing a lot of problems, a lot of drawing. You're not going to be able to do that while you're driving. In order to be counted present for class, I need to see that your camera's on and that you're actually participating, okay? Cool. Anyways, look forward to meeting all y'all. And yes, let's do some chemistry.